He did pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dead now.
He's dead.
So you don't want to end up like
You don't want to be baptised by Dickinson.
No.
Forsyth.
Forsyth.
Too many names. Anyway, I've got loads of stories. And I was meant to be timing this whole thing, and I haven't been. So
we're at 15 minutes.
T minus.
Feel good stories.
Feel good stories. FBI agents have reportedly found buckets full of heads, arms and legs, as well as refrigerated heaps of male genitalia and different people's body parts sewn together while working on a case concerning illegally trafficked body parts.
That feels good.
This is a good feel story.
Sewn together?
Yeah.
Like Frankenstein kind of shit.
Basically.
Me.
Now, I found this article, and then I found another article, and they're completely linked. I didn't realise.
Okay.
So I might have edited this one out if I didn't have the other one. But yeah, they just found these people were illegally trafficking body parts, and it's ending up in laboratories like this. So they just get body parts and sell them. Apparently, the going rate for a head was $500. Arms was $750, which I found strange. I think you should pay more for a head than some arms.
You would assume so. You've only got one of them.
Yeah, but I guess it's what experiments... maybe more experiments would be done on arms than they would be on heads. I imagine so. Really? It's more meat, isn't there, I guess?
I suppose. If you have the muscle.
Fingers, more. You can do experiments with fingers, but you can't experiment on people's eyes very much when it's just a head.
I don't know.
I'm assuming head includes face.
And teeth and...
Yeah, everything. Eyes, ears... Yeah. But yeah, it's going rate. And a whole body could be like $5,000, according to ABC 15.
We can save up for a course.
Oh, we've been meaning to spice up this room. Mr. Harp had donated his mother and his grandmother to the facility in 2012 and 2013 on the understanding that the bodies would be used for scientific purposes. He said it was meant for stuff like cancer and leukemia and whatever else using sampled cells from them. That's what I was told. He said the use of chainsaws and bandsaws for dismembering the bodies of his mother and grandmother were not appropriate.
Chainsaws?
Chainsaws.
You
can use my mother's and my grandmother's body for scientific purposes, but don't use a chainsaw.
A bandsaw is more precise. A chainsaw is just Jason.
Just pretty insane.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then that's also linked to, and this next article kind of references it to give it a bit more context. A man has said that he feels foolish after learning his mother's body was sold to the US Army, strapped to a chair and exploded.
It's an experiment.
Yeah. So basically, the US military was purchasing bodies from that lab that was illegally trafficking the dead. So there was like a middleman. They were just collecting dead bodies through illegitimate means and then selling them out for scientific research.
Why do you need to blow up her body?
Well, I can understand why you would probably... I mean, they're going to say that it was the military used it to try and figure out ways to help someone who's exploded. Like,
she's
what
already
are the effects
dead.
on the... Oh, yeah, but like, what are the effects on a body that's been exploded? Can we sew an arm to a leg?
Right, so they'll put like a grenade within a vicinity of it and see what happens.
Something like that, or something bigger, just to see if there's anything you can do. Because it's good to know what level of bomb is going to be the minimum amount of bomb needed to mean that you cannot be sewn back together.
How exploded was she? From 1 to Hiroshima.
Yeah. How many buckets, how many heads has she got now?
Yeah.
After being exploded.
Did you pick her up, or was it more of a scooping kind of thing?
So, I guess, how do you feel about when you die being given to scientific research?
I got no problem with it, really. I mean...
Because this adds a whole new context that I don't think we've ever considered.
Yeah.
Of like, it's always been like, oh, do you want to stay intact for the afterlife, or do you want to be dissected? And the current argument is like, I don't care, I'll be dead, so I'll be dissected.
I think I would want to know that it's going to be useful. So, for example, like there's loads of athletes who donate their brain for concussion research and things.
Yeah.
Like I would I'd want to know what it was going to be used for.
So say
Not
you
necessarily
knew,
against it, but
so say you
I'm
knew
curious.
you had a terminal illness.
Yeah.
You would want to be donated towards research
if
into
it
that
was, if
terminal
it could
illness.
help. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I agree. But I think there's a whole nother level of context of like your family has to live with that decision.
Yeah.
And in terms of that, you go, we as non-religious people go, yeah, sure, that's fine. And as much as I want to be exploded when I die, that's my wish. When I'm dead, don't bury me, explode me.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want it to be more public than what they're
Oh,
doing?
yeah.
Like
In the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Like, close off the street. You know,
Yeah.
no one else needs to be hurt.
Yeah.
Before I wanted to be twanged into traffic. So
Yeah.
I thought that would be great. Just catapulted and then just float gracefully into like rush hour traffic just to see what people would do. But now I think a nice, quaint, quiet, family-only secret funeral type ceremony where you'll sit around and then on top of a small hill, not that far away, I explode. Maybe there's a plunger. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Or maybe it's just on a timer that just goes off at some point during the speeches. So like
Without telling anyone.
yeah, you just suddenly I explode. And then that's it. The funeral's over because you can't. Well, you exploded now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But yeah, Jim Stauffier of Phoenix, Arizona, donated his mum, Doris, for medical research when she died in 2013 of Alzheimer's. But the 74-year-old's body was passed to the army where it was strapped to a chair before a bomb was detonated underneath it. Now, Mr. Stauffer is one of 33 people suing the Biological Research Center of Phoenix, which it is said systematically misled people about what happened to their loved ones. You didn't tell us you were going to blow them up. This is the interesting part. He added he had signed paperwork refusing blowing them up.
Oh.
There's a checkbox on your medical signature
Would
form.
you like them to be detonated?
Yeah. And again, I kind of understand. I mean, I think if you sign yourself away for medical research, you consent to being
Whatever.
exploded.
Yeah.
Because the bullets damaging organs, that's part of medical research, right? Stuff like bombs, something being set on fire. And as much as it's not great to have the image of your mother growing up and how she was a great grandmother, so her around her grandchildren being strapped to a chair and detonated, it's part of research in some way.
Yeah.
And I think maybe
Well, I
it's just
think we've
not as clear.
learnt a lot today.
But yeah, he's basically saying they're suing them because they weren't meant to detonate them. And they go, now every time he remembers his mum, he also remembers he has the image of her on a chair in a field exploding. Which I want for anyone who knows me. To be like, what do I have? Oh yeah, he exploded, didn't he?
No.
Yeah, it's good. But I can understand how I wouldn't want family.
It's different if you want it.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah.
And if he signed a thing that said "Don't detonate her,"
Yeah.
I think he's got grounds to be upset or foolish. What a fool!
Yeah.
He feels foolish. In other news, in other feel-good stories, a murderer released after being deemed too old to kill again has killed again.
Oh God. Too old is a stupid reason.
He won't do it again. He's too old.
Too old.
Too old. Stab. Back in 1979, I forget the guy's name, killed his wife, Sandra, by stabbing her to death while her young daughter was nearby. After his release in 2004, Flick, his name's Flick.
Great name for a murderer.
He's old.
Yeah.
You can trust Flick.
Yeah.
He won't flick knives at people.
Yeah.
He
Flick,
won't-
like the knife.
He loves stabbing people.
Yeah.
It's coincidental. His name's just Flick. Was convicted of assaulting 2 other women in 2010. A judge sentenced Flick to almost 4 years behind bars, resisting recommendations of prosecutors and probation officials to give him 8 or 9 years, believing that the man would be too old to commit any more violent acts. This is the quote. At some point, Mr. Flick is going to get to an age of his capacity At some point, Mr. Flick is going to age out of his capacity to engage in this conduct murder. And incarcerating him beyond the time that he ages out doesn't seem to me to make good sense from a criminological or fiscal perspective. So it's costing the county money or the state money to keep people in prison.
Yeah.
Don't keep the old in prison. It's too expensive. Let them out. He won't murder again.
Until...
After his release in 2014, he moved to Lewiston. Prosecutors said he was infatuated with Dobby, a woman, and followed her around town and even ate at the homeless shelter where she was staying. The killer and his victims, witnesses testified, weren't in relationships, and he stabbed her 14 times. He murdered 3 people, I think, in total, and then a 4th.
So how old was he when they released
I think like 60 from memory.
That's not too old.
Yeah.
You can do a lot at 60.
You can murder.
Yeah. I thought they were on about like 80 or something.
I think they were like, he's grown out of it.
Right.
We all do murdering when we're young. But
Yeah.
once you reach a certain age, you kind of, you appreciate the better things in life.
You know what will make a murderer grow out of murdering? Locking them up with murderers.
Kills again. I like the term kills again.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's not even like, it means that he's killed after it's been discovered that they've killed before.
He's killed again?
Yeah, he's just done it again.
Yeah.
Oh, that rascal.
Something to be fucking do.